Welcome to another edition of Talk to Solomon, another gem from King Solomon's mind. Brought to you by Mosey. Tonight's topic, prophet or prophets.
Want to talk? So let's talk. Here. Talk. You want to talk? You gotta talk, you need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk to Solomon.
You gotta talk, you wanna talk.
Well, let's see. The AFL CIO and the Democrat Party, that's saying the same thing twice in my opinion, are pushing a new tax. Now, I'll stop then. You can't be shocked. They're saying this tax would only hit the big investment companies to speak of. No one else would feel it. No one else would notice it. Does that sound like how the income tax started? Only the rich people would pay it? They want a tax on every stock transaction. And this tax that they're suggesting, 1/10 of 1%. So if you only have $1,000 worth of stock or $100,000 worth of stock and you only trade once or twice a year, it might be $1, $2. You wouldn't care, they say. Here's the reality. This tax would raise between $50 and $100 billion a year. Little lesson here. Any money you take out of the economy and give to government reduces economic activity. That 50 to 100 billion might be 150 to 300 billion worth of activity if you leave it in the private sector, but if you take it in the government sector, you'll have 12 or 15 or 20 billion worth of activity. Government consumes money. It doesn't just take it from one guy and give it to the other. It takes it from one guy, keeps 80% or more, and gives whatever's left to someone else. So any tax hurts our economy. Newsflash. Our economy is in deep trouble now. We don't need any more taxes. We need a heck of a lot fewer taxes. Their rationale is, why, this doesn't stop economic activity. I beg your pardon. When you take $200 or $300 billion out of the economy, it stops a lot of economic activity. Maybe not at the first level, but the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh levels.
Stan, with lower taxes, how are we going to pay for everything, like this healthcare stuff?
This is a newsflash. And Carl, I'm glad that you came out of your catatonic state. If government spends less, it doesn't have to take as much. Here's a couple of ideas. Stop paying for illegal aliens. Stop wasting money on departments that no longer have any efficacy. Adhere to the constraints of the Constitution. Instead of having a $4 trillion budget, have a $400 billion budget, which is the biggest budget we had up until, what, Reagan? This is nonsense, this growth of government. And we can do without it, in my humble opinion. Now, in Massachusetts, the first state to have universal health care, a funny thing happened on the way to utopia. Massachusetts went broke. So now the governor of Massachusetts, Deval Patrick, who will be a one-term governor, in my opinion, says, hallelujah, congratulations to us. We're going to spend less, and we're going to give a lot less, but that's a victory because we could have spent more and given a lot less, and if you could understand that, you could join Yogi Berra. Now here's what he says. We preserve the promise of health care reform. What is that in English? We preserve the promise. You know what we said we were going to do? We ain't going to do it, but we're still going to say we're going to do it, so we preserve the promise, also known as the lie. And what are they going to do? They're going to cut back on health care for 31,000 legal immigrants. No cutback on the illegal immigrants, but the legal immigrants are going to get less. Hallelujah! We have found the answer. Deval, Patrick, you're an idiot. With all due respect to your office, to your hard work to get there, you're a complete idiot. How about cutting out the illegal immigrants and not punishing the legal immigrants? I'd go for that. Everyone else would go for that. But that wouldn't work in Massachusetts, where feeling good is important. Like the president said about the cops who he assumed were racist and he assumed were wrong when his dim-witted, moronic professor friend made a fool of himself. I was going to say jackass, but I can't do that on this show. At any rate, prophet...
Didn't you just say jackass?
I did not. You'll have to review the tape and check with the president, because if he said it and says he didn't say it, then he didn't say it. Don't you understand? Prophets or prophets?